Please welcome Selvin Diaz from Texas A&M University, College Station.
Howdy! My name is Selvin Diaz. I'm a junior civil engineer from Houston, Texas, but most importantly, I am the loudest and the proudest member of the Fighting Texas IE class of 2025. Hey, whoop! And I have the honor and privilege of being Tamush's president for this academic school year. I want to welcome you all to this presentation about mastering member retention. Some of the content that we're going to go over today involves the mission and vision, sympathy versus empathy, mentorship program, the point system, and finally, the importance of quality. All these things will tie back to member retention, and you will see why. So the mission and vision. Tamuship enhances opportunities for personal and professional growth through social and academic responsibilities while holding true to the Aggie spirit. Our vision is to lead and prepare all Aggies in their future professions. Why is this important? How does this tie back to member retention? So every general meeting, the president always opens up all the event with this mission and vision, sort of reminding the members what they're here for. It is a great way to sort of just remind them and inspire them that this is the reason why they're coming to SHIP. The mission and vision is where our chapter always tries to tag back all of its actions. All the events that we do, all the planning that we do, we always try to reflect and see, does this align with our mission and vision? And if it does, we go with it. And if we feel like we don't, we kind of look back and see if it's the right thing to do. The mission and vision helps new shipsters feel inspired and motivated as to what they can achieve in the TAMU ship. The executive board this previous year did a really great job in making sure that they sort of made inspiring comment right after the mission and vision. This was really motivational because at the end of the year, when the elections was happening, almost everybody was saying the mission and vision in all their speeches. This isn't really important in our opinion because it sort of reminds them of what they're here for, and it just keeps that reminder every single time they come so that they know that they're coming here for this reason. Now, that is something that I always try to tie back into a company, right? A company always reminds their employees about their core values, and they always have kind of a catchphrase, right? And this is sort of our ship catchphrase, and it's very important. And I feel like that is reasoning, one of the top reasonings why members come back because they know that this is what they're getting from our organization. Now, sympathy and empathy. So what is sympathy and empathy? Sympathy is the act of acknowledging that the other person is going through something, sort of like supporting them from your own point of view. Empathy is the act of understanding what the other person is going through due to you having a similar experience. You're able to connect through this and form deeper bonds. Now, here's an example. So this is a photo so you can see what I'm talking about. So sympathy is someone looking down a hole and saying, I'm so sorry you're in that hole. Empathy, on the other hand, is the person being down that hole and also telling them and also speaking to them from their own experience. It's so dark here. How are you coping? Now, how does this connect to member retention? Why is this important? So empathy is something we can utilize to make the members of our chapters feel valued. It is something you should strive to have as a leader. You want to be an empathetic leader. You want to connect with your members so that you can form a familia. That is what we all want to have at our chip chapters, right? And in order to do that, we got to be empathetic. We got to connect with our members. Sometimes it's kind of hard to connect with everybody, right? So maybe you can lead them down to another e-board member or somebody else who can connect with them in the organization, you know? And if that is not something you can find, lead them through to another person, you can always just listen to them. People sometimes just want them to listen. People sometimes just want somebody to listen to them. That is very important if you want to form deep connections with your members. Now, in our chapter at Tamu Ship, we always try to be really connected with our members through leading with empathy. I feel like this year we were really successful in doing that because we were always managing to send one to each other if we didn't connect with them. And it was sort of a way to form strong, deep bonds. By the end of the year, a lot of people were really open with all the officers and telling them stuff about their personal lives that they usually don't tell other people. And that is something that our chapter has really done a great job in the past. Now, another thing that I have to say is to learn to be empathetic with yourself first. You can't efficiently be empathetic with others when you aren't empathetic with yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. We live in a really harsh environment, college, right? You're an engineer. It's tough to be an engineer. You're going through really hard classes. So it's a really hard environment to be in. I ask you to not be harsh on yourself, especially if you want to connect with others. You got to be your biggest supporter. You got to you got to be proud of where you are. You got to be happy with who you are. Even though things may not be going the right way, still support yourself and give yourself some leeway. Because in order to connect with others, you got to connect with yourself first. Now, a tip that I have if you want to connect with someone at a deeper level, I read this in a psychology book, is ask them how their family's doing. It usually breaks the ice and is a good way to connect with someone. Now, for the mentorship program. So I'll give you how our mentorship program works at Texas A&M University. So the freshmen and sophomores are paired up with upperclassmen. It helps them transition into Texas A&M University. It provides advice for classes, professors, and more. It is utilized as a support system, paired up by major and interest in the work field, and the mentorship pairs are determined through applications. That is essentially how our mentorship program works. Now, how does this connect to member retention? Our mentorship program has more than 160 members. It is our biggest program. People keep coming back to SHIP because of our mentorship program. A lot of people stay in our organization because of the mentorship program. They love what they get from it. It is a good way to get advice and sort of just connect with someone one-on-one. The pairs meet up every week, on Mondays, and have a constant stream of content to talk about, made by our director of academic development. The commitment of mentorship sort of creates retention. You see people coming to mentorship events, meeting up with their mentors when they don't even come to regular events. And that is a good thing because it sort of just opens the door for them to hear about shit. The content that they review with their mentors advertises the events of the week of SHIP. And that is a good way to just remind them this is what SHIP has to offer for you through their mentor, through someone they trust, through someone they can connect with. And that is a really good way to sort of keep members coming and keeping those people who are on the door of coming to SHIP or not. Now, a tip that I have for this is to host a lot of events throughout the year for the mentorship program, such as picnics and game nights. Our chapter did a really good job this year having a lot of events for our mentorship program. On the left, you can see a really interactive mentorship review. It was really fun. The mentees and mentors, they were kind of paired up with a picture. And then at the right, you can see a mentorship picnic that we had. Now for the point system. So the point system is sort of a way for our chapter to track who are the most involved members. It is an automated point system. We have QR codes at every event, at the beginning of events and at the end. So sign in and sign out, and it gives them points based on how many events they're coming to. There's a hierarchy for points. So like professional development events get more points, community servants get a lot of points too. And then events such as socials get the least points, right? And this helps the e-board determine, like I said, who are the most involved people to sponsor them to national convention. Now, on this slide, you can see a picture of how our point system looks like. To the left, you can see the top people. This past year, there was a girl named Karime. She was getting a lot of points. She went to a lot of events, really involved person. And right there, you can see the top 28. And we're trying to improve every year and take more people, right? And this point system kind of helps us determine who are the most people deserving of going, who's coming the most. On the right, you can see the hierarchy of points. Like I said, how does this connect to member retention? Member retention has increased after we implemented this point system. The point system creates a strong incentives for members to come to events. It sort of creates a competitive environment for members, which is a good thing, right? Because it kind of pushes them to come to events, and it also makes them, want to come to events and make sure that they listen and they pay attention because they're there for the whole time, for the sign in, for the sign out, right? So it sort of creates a competitive environment for them to come. And a tip that I have for this, if you have a point system, create a sign in and sign out QR code. At the beginning, when we implemented the system, we only had a sign in code, and a lot of people were leaving, right? So when we implemented a sign out, more people were staying. And this sort of rewarded the people who stayed during events for the whole time. And a lot of people kept staying back because they wanted to get more points, right? So this is a really good thing if you want to focus on creating member retention. Lastly, we have the importance of quality. So as your organization continues to grow, more members will be attending events, more people will be coming, and it is very important to keep quality high. Quality of events must never decline. You want to make sure that people are interested in coming to these events. You want to make sure that people are having fun, that they're learning. And it is up to the e-board, to the people organizing these events, to ensure that the events are engaging, informative, and have innovative content. You want to make sure that you're asking your peers if you're organizing an event, if this is the right idea. You want to make sure that you're putting the effort into making it a good event, right? You sign up to be a leader in this organization. So put in the love into those events, right? Put in the love into making sure that the event has good quality. It has good quality. You want to make sure that the members have something coming out of it, right? And if you can do that, you can master member retention. We believe that these things have been the top 5 things for the reason Championship has been able to master member retention. But that is all I have for y'all today. So please remember to come back, see us at CCOP live during our session. And if you have any questions, just send me a message and I'll be more than happy to help. That's all I got for y'all. Thanks and giggle.